You'd think I'd have this all ready beforehand, wouldn't you? Oh, hello. Hello, everyone. How are you? Hopefully there's audio. Let's just see if there's audio. Yep, there's audio. Let's switch it over to here. Right, so I've got a list of points. As you can gather, I'm a bit tired. So, but I thought I'd go through where we are, answer a few questions, point out a few little things as I've gone along, and then answer some questions. But again, I know I say this every single time, but probably going to want to try and keep this bit short. I'm not used to working for a living. Yeah, let's get started. So where are we at the moment? Right, well, as you're probably aware, I've shipped always waiting to be collected 436 monitors out of the 600 that came in the first container. So there's about 180 left, 170, 180 left. They're all white now. We had about 60 or 70 black, so a lot of people were quite lucky. The earliest ones got some people got black ones, obviously, but there was only a very small number. In fact, I didn't expect any of them to be black. Main reason was there was a bit of a delay. They had to redo some of the black because it wasn't coming out quite right. So they redid it. They redid the black ones. So yeah, that's good. It's going well. Not everything's perfect. I must admit, when we first started doing it, I made a couple of when you start doing this thing and you're just getting into a routine. We forgot to send a couple of manuals. There was a couple of remotes. I've got a little stack of jobs I've got to do to send out. So there's a couple. It is half a dozen things that we've been sending some bits out. There's a couple more to go out still. But that we seem to now we've got into a routine, so everything's going well. One thing that did crop up, which is really annoying for me, probably not as much as the people who've got it, but a couple of panels, actually now 3 panels have got a dead pixel. Now, bearing in mind, I paid way over the odds for these panels so that each one was thoroughly tested, so we should not have had any. And it's going to, trust me, there'll be a bit of, there will be some changes made going forward. But as I said on Discord, I was lucky. The first person came back to me by email. Second person discussed it on Discord, and everyone threw their hands in the air, kind of panicking a bit. So I made it perfectly clear, look, if you've got dead pixels, you get a new panel, right? So I've got 2 people. I'm just waiting for the other guy, the third guy, to come back and just send me a bit more information. But I will replace panels. Now I have a little list. It's about 7 or 8 things I've got to sort out. Once I've got these ones out in about a week, 10 days, and we're waiting for the next container, I do have spare panels, so those people who have come back and said they've got a dodgy pixel, I'll be sending them a new panel. So don't stress about the panels. It's annoying for me because I paid over the odds. I could have gotten for a lot less. I'm paying like an extra $13 for testing and making sure they're perfect. So it's a bit frustrating from my point of view. I understand from yours, but the reality is it's annoying for me as well. So they'll be sorted out. Don't lose any sleep over it. We've got one now. This is I've noticed on Discord. This has been discussed. Now there is one person who has got noise on the speakers. I mean, it's pronounced. It's like, you know, like there's obviously something wrong. I had one of them previously on a prototype, and we swapped out I think it was either the backplane or the slot 0 cured it. Now, yes, if you turn the volume right up with these speakers, there may be a little bit of noise on the speakers. All right, it's not hi-fi, right? But you know, if you've got it down to about 20, 25, which is normal, you shouldn't really hear anything. So it should be pretty quiet. But of course, if you do ramp it up to is there noise? There might be a little bit of noise. You know, it's something that kind of raised its. You do have to turn it up, right? So yeah, there's a tiny little bit of. There's obviously something's a little bit noisy, but in most scenarios, no one notices it, unless you're really listening out for it. But the guy with the speaker problem, where it is making a noise, because if you turn it up, down, it doesn't make any difference. It's just there. That's a replace board, and we'll sort that out. Right, let's go through some. I've got these in order, so let's go through for a few little bits. Something I didn't put in the manual. I know people are going to say about the RF. The HDMI. If you're using the HDMI switcher, okay, it only works with the remote control. With the original board, there was HDMI 1 and 2, and HDMI 1 and 2 is on the source. When you press source or you press the button, it pops up HDMI. Now you'll notice if you've got like a scaler in there, it might say HDMI 1 and HDMI 6, and people are getting confused. Fair enough. But the reason for that is HDMI 2 is actually the switcher. So the switcher is then HDMI 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And it's controlled with the HDMI button. Press it multiple times. And all you're doing is you're going around. Now on the manual and on the stickers, it does tell you which is which. Because it is confusing. It seems like it's confusing. But if you look at the board from above, you'll realise they go clockwise. Okay, that's the reason. So that's why if you look on it, you've got inside 5 and 6, and it comes out 4, 3, 2. It's kind of a bit weird. But it's obvious. But that's why we did the nice stickers. So hopefully you put all your stickers on the back, which tells you which ports to plug into. But yeah, if you want the HDMI, you want to go around a switcher, HDMI, ding, 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 ding. Just press the HDMI on the remote. This is the only way you can access the switcher. Discuss jog dial touch-in poly cover. Yeah, okay. So here's an issue. Well, something I did. Look, the whole thing with these little oh, you can't see that, can you? Let me on here. Everybody, this was not part of the project. Everybody got the OLED and the jog dial and the headphone input. That was never part of the Kickstarter. 90%, over 90% of people wanted a scaler, so I thought give everyone that, and you get the little OLED and the jog dial. The problem was we hadn't allowed for it in the design of the poly inserts, which are protecting the monitor. So it does push on it. Now, it's a solid piece of metal, okay? So all it does is it has actually kind of indented into the poly. It won't have caused any problem. The worst case scenario is when you get it, it's pushed it tight. So when you're pressing the button, it's not moving. Just pull it back a bit because it's just on an metal arm. It's solid metal. Just pull it back a bit and then it'll work. Okay, simple as that. We will, going forward in later versions, we'll modify the polystyrene. But that's just something that I wasn't expecting to give everyone, and then I forgot all about it, and it's just one of those things. Scart register. Now I've actually done a list here, so I'm hoping people just watch this video. No one watches the video, I don't think, but maybe I'll do some notes, but I haven't got much time. Scart resolution and overscan. So some people have come back and said that Scart, they plug in their thing by Scart, and it's not filling the whole page. Well, first of all, if it's overscan, it should fill. I'll come to that. If it's a non-overscan, so it's like most devices, right, don't do overscan. Now, bearing in mind, this is a 724 by 566 or 480 display. That's overscan. So if you're not doing overscan, you're going to have a black border all the way around. Okay? That's life. Now, you can adjust this by going into the GBS control, the instructions in the manual, and you can stretch it and create a profile, and it will solve that for you. If you're an Amiga fan or someone who does actually have overscan, you will notice there's a little black line all the way around. Yes, the very last piece of firmware they sent, we had problems with it being shoved off into the corner. They corrected it and they put it in there, but they did center it, which is what I wanted, which made it look great. But if you're running full overscan on an Amiga, this is for Amiga fans, there's a black line, a black border all the way around. That will be updated in future firmware, but I've got to fly to China, take some sample hardware with me, and go through a few of these little firmware issues as far as they're not issues, improvements, because I only ever took the Amiga card with me. This next time I go, I'm going to take some computers with me so we can plug them in and they can play with it, and we can see if we can fine tune that so it's an automatic snap, and then you'll be able to download that firmware upgrade and just upgrade everything. Now, if you've made profiles within GBS, those profiles will then have to be readjusted. But so that's that. It's not a big deal. It's just that some people don't understand. They don't realise there's a border around it. A lot of people do. That's just one of those improvements parked for later. Now, one of the reasons it was parked, there's still a couple of hundred people still haven't paid their balances. Now, it's a major pain in the backside. I was going to fly out to China before the shipment arrived, and I was going to take the stuff and I was going to go around and see if I can get another set of firmware tweaks. But I wasn't going to spend that money out because it's really expensive. Because I have to save all the money now for the shipping of the boards. So all that's been put back. Right, rant over. Oh yeah. Well, actually, I might put that one later. Actually, yeah. Let's put that one at the bottom. Okay. So some people have noticed a bit of a glow. If you've got a black screen, you're getting a bit of a glow in two places. One there. Okay. We did actually have the bezel redone. It needed adjusting to solve that problem, but what it is, I think they've over tightened on the back here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 7 screws around the edge, and I think they've done them up too tight. And everyone basically who's to be honest, has been about 5. I don't know if there's any more than that, but only about 4 or 5 that I've seen. All I've said is just go in and just loosen the screws off. Don't drop them out. Don't take the screws out because they're a bit tricky to get back in. You need a magnetised screwdriver, but just loosen them off a bit. Just have the monitor on with a black screen, turn the lights out, and just loosen the screws a little bit, and you'll find that'll go. It's just all it is. The bezel is touching the panel and it's squeezing it, and then that's making it glow. In an ideal world, what I wanted to do originally was to have a gasket around it, so that you pulled onto the gasket and not pulling onto the thing. The reality is that was going to be expensive, it was going to take longer, and we didn't think it was an issue. So maybe in the future, if it's successful, we may do it. It's, as I said, if you just don't loosen them off a little bit, because if they're tight, they're pulling on it, right? If they're just pinched, the bezel should literally just be pinched, okay, onto the front, not screwed tight, because it pulls and you'll see it's touching. We try to make it touch so it looks neat, but we don't want it pushing, so just loosen the screws off a little bit. Aruda working hard on their board. I've seen some drawings. They're working with, in fact, they're working with the people who made the slot 0. our Chinese company. Well, not our Chinese company, but you know what I mean. Working with them to do their version of the Slot Zero. Good news on the Aruda. Now, some people have actually ordered an Aruda with this Appy's retro scaler, and at first I was saying, "Oh God, why?" But the scaler is, I'm not seeing it working yet, but in theory they're supporting the backplane, so they're going to plug their card into the backplane, and the scaler should work. So any cards we make for my monitor will theoretically should work okay on theirs. In fact, I will show you a picture. Let's go back to here. This might be a bit of fun. So if you put a scaler in, right, it will work. But of course, it'll be 31 kilohertz. Yeah, and it's a scaler. So you know what that means. Now, Appy's back in the house and he's been busy. And so this is just a prototype at the moment. This is basically our interface board without the scaler. So it's not upscaling it to 31 kilohertz. So in theory, I mean, I've not tested this yet. I can't see why not. Once we get the Aruda boards, we'll test this. And it means that you should then have, because on the Aruda board, it's only going to be VGA input. And I think they've got an RGB input. And that's it, okay? But this will give you like the Scart RGB, and it will give you Appy's CGA, and it'll give you those little extras and the S video. Oh, with the S video, I think the S video will work with the HDMI and the RF tuner, that kind of thing. So you better use that, and also, I mean, you better plug these in. So that is all great news. Something, yeah, that's so they're working well on that, and we've got the Chinese holiday coming up, so in about two weeks, I think it is. So, you know, they're progressing very well. Oh, I've already discussed that one, so we can put that up there. Let's go. I've discussed that. Position. Okay, let's cover this. Position in queue and invoice number. Right. Well, okay. So I've always said that the invoice numbers that we started was about 3,250. I've shipped 430, but it's not quite. If you have, if you ordered a white monitor, I'm up to invoice 47, 46. Nearly 47, around that. So if you ordered a white monitors, and I don't mean a white and a black. If you ordered a white monitor on its own, you're good to go, right? If you ordered black, it stopped about 3,400, 3,500, something like that, and we're waiting for the container. So if you've ordered a black, either black and white or just a black, you got to wait until February when the next container arrives, and then it'll be good. We did. Because I messed up with the cable, forgot the cables for the mister. We did ship out a lot that didn't have misters, right? And then I went back, and now we've caught that up. So we've caught up with the mister orders, and they've all gone out. So if you've got a white monitor, and as I said again, if it's a white monitor on its own, or as some people were really clever, they did two orders. They did a white order and a black order, right? Which is really cool, because then I can send the white order. Now, you can't change it. I did consider, a lot of people have said, oh, can you split the order? I can't. I just can't, right? It's just going to ask for mistakes. And I can't. It's going to cost too much in shipping, too much of a headache. And you're only talking about another 2 or 3 weeks, right? So I'm not doing that. We did ship out a few, and people have received them, seem pleased with them, so they will go. So if you ordered a white one, they're all going. Bags have all gone out. So we are pretty much online. So if you're around the 3,700 invoice number, 3,700, it's probably going to ship in very soon. I would guess up to 3,800 will go in the next week. Yeah, so that should be pretty good. So once I've shipped all these out, then I'm going to take a week, 10 days. I think we're going to have a gap. We've got about another week and a half to 10 days doing this. I think about the 20th, we should have shipped all of this container. The next container arrives theoretically on 28th and then gets to us about the 4th or 5th of February. Then we can start, but they're nearly all, well, no, they're not. They're over half of them are black and white. So then we can catch up all the black ones and just go through the orders. And then we can start shipping them out. Right, so that's positioning queue. RF guide. Oh, God. Yeah, I noticed a couple of people on, well, one person actually, mentioned about the RF. All right, let me be clear about the RF. The RF was not part of the Kickstarter. It was never part of the Kickstarter. It was always going to be something that we would do. So it just so happened that this is a good little tuner. Okay, so once the Kickstarter was done, and I was looking into the S video. Originally, we were going to put the S video. It was going to be a little box, put in a mount frame. That was the Kickstarter. But when I went to China and I managed to speak to people, the people who made the S video also made this. So I said, could you put it on the same board? So that's why this was added. Now, it does require its own remote control. And it's not the necessarily easiest thing to use. I think I've already done a video on it showing it, but it has been asked now. So when I'm... I had good intentions, you know what they're like. I had planned on releasing some short videos, but I don't have time. So once I ship these, I will do a few. I will do something like that. It's really easy when you know, right? You press the menu, you go across, and there's an auto tune, and you just go for it. Now, if you've got a rubbish cable, it ain't gonna work, right? As long as you've got a good cable. My VCS works great, but I will do it. You just have to learn how to use this. Or go online. There's a manual. I think there's a manual online. But someone's actually very kindly done a PDF. So I will do a video, but remember, it's, you know, the question was, wouldn't have backed it, right? It was never part of the Kickstarter. Anyway, I will address that, and I will do a video user guide. Right, and I'll also do it for the Scart as well, just to, you know, help people through. I've done that. Oh, okay. Time to tell people you're good. Okay, right. So, as I always say, if you've got any problems, come to me, tell me, and I'll sort them out. Thankfully, a lot of people have been using Discord. The Discord has been really positive. Yes, they're all discussing. There's an actual monitor support forum, which is great. And I can't say thanks enough to the people you're all supporting each other. And it really, it's one of those things where, what do I do? Like 100 people have got them, so I then stop doing all the shipping monitors to help the people. No, I'll just carry on shipping monitors. Right now, I'm going to have a bit of downtime when it comes to when we ship this lot. We're going to have a week or two spare. And then I can do a little bit of support and get in there and do some videos and, you know, do some videos about the kind of information you need. Yes, the RF it's easy when you know. It's not when you don't. It's as simple as that. You'll get it and you'll go, oh, right. Yeah. But I will do some videos. But yeah, you guys have been helping each other, which is really good. I did put a message on here, announcements, as I said, about the panels. Let me be 100% absolutely clear, right? So if you do get a dodgy pixel, email me, send me pictures, etc. Now I'm expecting very few, because since this has happened, I test them now. Every single one, I've got part of the test routine is testing for dead pixels or bright pixels. So I run a black and a white screen, and I can see dead or bright pixels. So I haven't seen any. So fingers crossed. It's not that I'm blind either. But there's two of us checking. Right. So So I'll come back to that in a minute. Right. So what was I gonna say? So if you've got positive stories. If you've got negative ones, come to me or go to Discord and get some support and help and then solve the problems. If there's literally something wrong with the monitor, we'll sort it out. Don't worry. Please don't worry. We'll sort it out. However, if you like, a lot of you have been emailing me telling me you love the monitor and you think it's fantastic and it was so easy to use, etc., etc. Then why is it? Oh no, it's not. Then by all means share, because the reality of this project is the sales of the Kickstarter monitors, like there were 1400 odd. I made no money out of it. Okay, it was the last 500 was going to be profit on the project, which is why I made 2,000. Okay, so we don't make any profit on the Kickstarter ones. It's on that lot. So I obviously now it's again, this is why it's not helping. Now a lot of people are pre-ordering, but not huge numbers because I'm not doing any PR. I'm not doing PR. These are all coming in from the Peter's video. So if you want to go to and tell people can come on, they can pre-order. Okay, but at a certain point, once I've got this container in, this next container in, once we've shipped all of them, I go into PR overdrive. Okay. And so then I'll be going out promoting. But of course, if you've got groups and you want to talk to people, tell people about it, be much appreciated. Right. Okay. So this little board you're looking at now, this is one of those. This is one of those. Appy's back in the house and he's getting better. One day we'll tell you the story, but not today. But he's much better now. And so he got bored and started doing stuff. So we talked about doing a terminal board, but you'll notice this board's actually quite special because I got told off the other day about this. Someone complained, right? And they wanted to do the like silicon graphics interface, video interface, right? And of course, I went to Appy and said, we decided to put both on the same board. So if you buy the terminal board, it has the SGI, which is a sync on green. And we're just testing it out at the moment. And so to test it, some of you eagle-eyed lot might notice this. How cool is that? An Altair 8800. You might have already seen one of these. Absolutely brilliant. So I'm gonna play with that because we're gonna. Now I know people out there can say, "I've just got a VGA on the back of it with a keyboard." Yes, I know. But isn't it fun to be able to use the monitor with a terminal and be able to log into it? Which means the monitor you can then RS232 serial into any device, right? It's fun. But also the silicon graphics, the SGI, which means, unfortunately, I'm going to have to get an SGI. I'll suck it up. That's what I want to thank my Patreons for. I tell you what, because people are still sending Patreon money, and I'm using it to basically fund all this stuff. Buy that, it's going to get an SGI and so on. Because as I said, I'm not taking it. We're not really taking any money out of this project until the last 500. Yeah, it's that's a bit of fun, and I hope people like it. Some people, why do we want one of them? I don't know. It's fun. Right. So what else was there? This is the guy. No, that's not it. That's not it. Stupid. Yeah. This is the group. Oh, hang on, my camera's gone. Don't worry, I haven't gone anywhere. He's only got 10 members. Crazy. Anyway, so and I'm one of them. This is the guy that makes this, and it's also on a hard set. Now, I will be honest. I remember the IMSI more from War Games. I remember the inside, which is basically a similar thing. I think it came out a bit later on, but it's just really cool. And I know it's a bit small, but he's gone to the trouble. It used to be quite a thin thing, but he's gone to the trouble of kind of giving it some depth. And it literally just mini. It's kind of the right scale, and I think it's really cool. Anyway, so yeah, maybe go and have a look at that. Let's come back to here. Right. I suppose now I can go through some questions. We are far in, look. Can I? Right, let's go through these. Everyone's saying happy New Year. Yes, I did get your email. I think I responded, Jeremy. Okay. I've asked you a question to come back to me with some answers. We're having fun figuring things out. Is this good? My monitor's been nearly 30 years. Still got a long way to go before I get my system tested. Okay, yeah, thank you, Marco. What can you do with the dial in the front of the OLED screen? Okay, so that's a very good question. I'm assuming you don't have a scaler. So the scaler, well, first of all, you can plug your headphones into it. Right? Now, as I said, over 90% of people bought the scaler. So I decided it was better to give everybody the OLED, even those that didn't have the scaler. Now, it doesn't make, you might think, that doesn't make any sense. Now, if you don't like it, right, in the box at the back, there's two blanks. You've got the little blanks for the front. Yeah? Swap it out. Yeah? There's even a hole for the thing. Just, you're going to have to drill it out a little bit to make it a bit bigger. Put the headphones on there and just blank it. Fine. Job done. But Appy's been playing. If you don't want a scaler, right? Well, you might want one of these, which is Appy's spectrum analyzer, which is basically any audio that appears, it comes in a waveform on the OLED. But it also means if you buy some, basically anyone who develops a product for this monitor has the I2C bus on it, which is basically how you write to this display. And it means they can use it and the jog dial. So the other products that are going to come along will hopefully use that jog dial, and you'll get the benefit of it. If you really don't want it, you have a part in the box. It just means you've got to take the front, take it apart, pull it off. But I thought most people would appreciate the headphone, and it's only about 5-10% of people that haven't got the scaler. Because literally, I think it's 95% of people have got the scaler. 21, do you have my scaler pod? I hope you're on the mend. We missed it. Okay. Yeah, okay. All right, so you've ordered one now. Yeah, good idea. Use the OLED for select. Yeah, Appy's answering all of this. It's on the... so it doesn't do anything if you don't have the... unless you, as I said, unless you have one of that or other. And I think the Aruda team may be using it as well. I think they're going to use it. Does it run Doom? No, I don't think so. But you can give it a go. Got a black and white one on order. Hoping for second batch for me. Yeah, second batch. Everyone gets them, right? No, literally. I mean, I got lots of people that I know it might seem a bit unfair, but it's going to cause a nightmare. I can't. I wrote the system, okay, and it's designed for the invoice, okay, and you mark it delivered. I mean, I can't. I'm not modifying the software so that we can say, oh, this one's gone, that one got. Can't do it. And you've only got to wait 3 more weeks, so. Anyone got their monitors yet? I guess Alex hasn't got his yet then. Hello. Wonder if I can still buy a black op high. I presume black monitor's not shipping yet. assuming check your order. If it hasn't shipped, you can order one. If you want to get one, don't hang about. Because I've had one person now that's added a bit, and I'd already shipped it. Okay. Let me just see how we do. I move quickly that the HDMI to USB dongles are arriving later? No. If you mean the HDMI output, no, it was the Mister. It was the Mister. All the HDMI output, little HDMI to USBs, have all gone in with the boxes. Mine came with the HDMI capture stick. Mine didn't, and I ordered a fully spec one. Anders, if you're saying you didn't receive something, you should email me, or have you? Mine didn't, and I ordered a fully spec'd one. Now, people have said if they've ordered a fully spec'd one. I can't answer that here. Email me, Anders. You know how it works. Email me and I'll check it. Put you on the list of things that someone I forgot. But some people have said they've ordered it. No, you didn't. So we need to check. You've got a tracking number. HDMI US should be in the poly packing on one side on its own. You can't miss it. You take the monitor out, it's right in front of you. I haven't gone above 50 on mine. Plenty loud, even my audio. Usually about 10-15. The speakers are loud. Yes, the speakers are loud. Just keep them around where they are. We also had to remove, we had a TRS surround, but it was making them too bassy, so we've had to remove that for now. Again, this falls under the... Next time I go to China, we'll do some firmware tweaks and see if we can make some changes there. Very pleased with the monitor. My only feedback is I think the HDMI cable supply with the Raspberry Pi kit should be changed to a slightly longer normal cable. Yeah, fine. You can buy one. The problem is I have to make a decision on this, and it's long enough. Actually, it's a good point. I've not made one with it, but I'm pretty sure it's 30 centimeters, which is more than long enough. Any idea what the port opening on the far left of the Checkmate Pi pod is for? Oh, that might be the USB. If you want to put a USB. I haven't got a Pi frame here. The frames are upstairs. Do you know what I could do? I could check online. Have a look at the. Give us a sec. Oh, that figures. Why are they not show monitors? Here we go. Yeah. Okay. So if you're looking from the rear, the left-hand side, the top one is a USB port. If you want to have an external, well, oh no, tell lie. It's HDMI. If you want to use the second HDMI, it's to run that. But I don't supply the cable. But if you want to use it, you can just get yourself a cable to go to the frame and it'll mount there. The bottom one is for headphone jack, if you want to run a headphone jack to it. I wish the power cord was longer so the brick could lay on the floor. Get a longer power cord. I have my volume on 8 and it's loud enough. Route the second HDMI. Yeah, that's it. Well done, thank you. I've got an extension to the second HDMI port on the Pi in the unused port on the Pi pod. I got my monitor. Power cord length is probably can say by. There you go. Well done. And a reset button on the small hole. I'm not sure what that means. Yeah, I can't understand why they're not paying their balances. But I'm going to go through it again, but it's a major headache. Almost missed this stream. Right, thank you for that info about adjusting screws. Yes. Yeah, a lot of people, no, not a lot, about half a dozen people I've seen. And as soon as they've done, they've loosened it off just a bit, it's gone away. Because I've not seen any of them do it, not with the new bezel. But if they You may also find, right? You may also find, I've had a couple of people say there was the screw loose inside. The people who assemble it don't always do them overly tight. So if you do that, when I know it sounds terrible, but pick it up like that. If you hear a noise, just take the boards out. Take the screw out. It'll just be one of the little mount screws or something. It's only rare. Doesn't happen. It's kind of rare. But yeah, if you hear that, the good news is if it falls out, it just drops to the bottom where the stand is. So it's just one of these things. Production. Really happy with the screen. Gotta leave the Mr. and Happy scaler in. There's weeks of fun in FPGA. Any news on the iMega 3K? Yeah, it's awesome. No, basically we're waiting on Claude to sort out the. Claude's doing the Amiga video on the camera port to go out the HDMI. I don't want to release it without that on it because it makes no sense. So, and I think Claude's having a few issues with it. So I'm in no rush. I've got enough to do. Yeah, it's a good board, but we want to get it just right. And then people can moan because it hasn't got AGA on it. Where is the second container at? Looking forward to be one of the black units. It's got to be halfway. It's got to be halfway. I did have a look through the updates. There's a picture of it, I think. Yeah, there is. You can just track it. I have a black on 32. Okay. I have a black on 3249 and a white on. Oh, well done to you. Well, in that case, then yours should have shipped. Does the next shipment include white ones as well? Yes. Any chance you'll make a computer case with an XRI backplane? Don't know. Can you share the container tracking link like with the first one? No, because just go for, it's a little way. Go up to the updates, scroll down, keep scrolling down until you find the picture, and then at the top just take the number off and track it. There's plenty of people doing that. I just haven't got time. Will the 1280 by 1024 in 50 Hz with Scart possible with the update? Currently it works only with GPS setting to 460. That's rubbish. I don't get this, right? It's really bugging me. I've had absolutely no problem whatsoever. Amiga Scart goes in 50 Hz perfect. It's not 1280 by 1024, okay? So maybe I need to do a profile, but it's not. In fact, I could probably, no, I can't be bothered. And when I do the videos, I'll do it. But if you go back through my history, you'll see I've pressed the button and it says PAL. Yeah? It's not 1280 by 1024. It's its own mode. It's at 724 by 566. It's a special mode that it's coming into, not 1280 by 1024. If you force it into 1280 to 1024, good luck. Okay? Doesn't do that. Hence, I'll do a video explaining it all, but you shouldn't be in 1280 by 10. You shouldn't be forcing it into 1280 1024. Can you find the link? The Discord link is on the Kickstart. It's one of the latest ones. It's on one of the updates. Can I just say, like, Jeremy, I'll read this out because it's a nice one. Can I just say you really under-promised with the stand? I thought it would be a bit janky. It's really smooth. It is, isn't it? It's genius design. Although I nicked it. They nicked the design. But yeah, it's because it's just a smooth. It might have been a bit more, but they wanted to make it matte. I said no, it has to be shiny, so it slides. Yeah, and it does work really well. The bag is great, yes. I'm glad people like the bag. At 4680 is invoice number. I feel optimistic. I'll soon join in monitor. Yeah, you have a little while off. It'll be February, okay? Probably late in February. Yeah. Oh, it's going expected rather date's 20. My date's been 28th, but give or take. Cool piece of kit, beautiful. How about a new Canon cam? Oh, God, it's done it again. Right. Okay. Just running diagram alone will be worth a terminal card. Okay, yeah. On a terminal for extra super core, it would be nice to support Regis graphics. Appy can look at that. I have no idea what Regis graphics are. What do you use the Altair for, though? Never had one, nor use one because I can't figure out a purpose. I don't know. Looks good though. I'm basically I bought it to do a video about the terminal card controlling it. That's it. But it looks good. I like stuff like that, yeah? And with all the blinking lights. I showed it to the wife and my little boy, and they went, "What's that?" But they haven't seen it with the lights on. Will my wife find me more attractive when I get my new monitor? Obviously, yeah, damn right. My wife just thought I suddenly looked a bit more like Chris Hemsworth. Apparently, yeah. Actual computer has no purpose. Some are saying flash the GBS firmware to newest official version. Any ideas on that? Right. If you do that, it's up to you, right? You can do it. When we first paid for the things to be done, it was the latest version. But yes, it may well have been updated, but I haven't tested it. But look, you shouldn't need to. It's fine. I will cover this when I've got some time. I will go into it and I'll cover it, and I think I've already done this, but I'll do it again. If one of us Kickstarters wants to buy a second monitor for the same cost, is that still about? Yeah. The price. What is time for receipt? Well, okay. Unfortunately, you're back in the queue. If you order another monitor, I've got to do this in strict order. But if you want to buy it, the price. We're not really. The prices. We're not. I'm kind of agonising over. Do I put the price up because it's cost more, but it's I don't know. The price is probably going to stay the same. But again, the issue I've got is people not paying their balances anyway. Want to add internal RF board in the future? Will it be purchasable on the site? Okay, so if you want the RF, you need the S video board because it's on that, and that only works if you've got Appy Scaler. Wait, what? Scaler? Did I miss something? Probably. Can we order the RF door boards and add on to the scalers that I like? Yes. Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, you just have to pay shipping, but the answer is yes, you can order a scaler if you want to. So you have done the cases, the monitor. You know what we need, Nick? Yes. I assume you're talking about the keyboard. I want to do a keyboard and a pregnant mouse. What do you mean a new computer? Oh, right. Okay. Yes, maybe. Did you read that comment on the previous stream about a modular keyboard? No. Oh, I did make it. Well, modular? Or is that me or is that someone else? I'm not sure. Are the monitors shipped by order number or invoice number? No, invoice number. Basically, it's in order of when you paid. So you get your invoice number as soon as you pay, not by order number, right? Because that's just random. As soon as you pay, you get an invoice number, and that's your place in the queue. So the quicker people pay, they got them quicker. And also the people who paid really early for black got them early. Do something modular, like, okay. Atari ST snacks. Watch replay later. It depends on black or white monitors as well. Just to reiterate, if you haven't already got a black monitor to be shipped to you, it will be in February, okay? Because I had about 60 or 70 that came. I shipped them out to the ones who were right at the beginning of the queue. and then when I ran out, people have to unfortunately wait until the next container. That's because most of the first container were white, but I didn't think any were black, to be fair. Yeah, if you're at 4100, yeah, you're going to be a while off. I saw the comment of 50 hertz Scart. Would it be a problem to use PAL VHS pen? No. I don't get it. We've got a special mode. 70 automatically selects when you go out 724. If you're forcing it for some reason to 1280, 1024, you're going to bugger it up. Just I suspect mine should be shipping very soon. Very excited to get it. How can we get Appy's spectrum analyzed? Okay, yeah, well that's coming later. I got one. If actually Appy's going to tell me off because it's here and I haven't put it in a monitor. I haven't got. Excuse me, itchy nose. I haven't got time to do any more products yet. Let me get these monitors shipped, and then we can start adding new products. Is there scope for an option to disable audio from the speakers if I just want to use the audio out from the back of the monitor? Yeah, it depends what you mean. If you mean permanently, pull the connectors off the back plane. Given how many people have asked about fitting a little PC board, are you considering a bigger display that can do that? No. Simple. Steve, could you make an SVG tech drawing that could be used as a template to cut sound insulate material for... okay, yeah. You've probably got a CAD drawing. Right, okay, so I did say that I would do this originally because I wanted to do it actually. So basically what he's talking about is that got cables in it? Right. So basically a piece, I mean you can probably measure it yourself. Yeah? To cut a piece of, and to be able to round the speaker, to be able to enclose it in foam so that the sound doesn't bounce across, because you know I mean I'm sure it does make a bit of a difference. So once I ship them all, come back to me about that. Are you tracking comments for future revisions? Yes, I've got notes. A lot of them are just like people don't understand they need to understand how to use it, but some of them are actual reasonable comments. So I've got a little list of things we're going to change. Are you tracking up future revisions? I missed the notification I set, so just got here. Oh God, stop doing that. I mean, the cord that plugs into the back of the monitor is too short, not the cable we supply. It is short, yeah, but that's the cable. It's not that short. Where are they? Hang on. It isn't that short. I mean, no matter what size I did it, someone would moan. Yeah. Can't get it. No, I'm going to try and get it undone now. This is not that short. Okay. So that. Alright, so don't go on the floor. We don't want it too long, because what happens is it then takes up a lot of space in our box. And that's the size anyway. So sorry, just get a longer thingy cable. I know they're not perfect, and that would be nicer to just go into the back, but then that was a whole new can of worms if we did that. So this was a better off one. Greg got his black unit in the UK the other day. Lovely stuff. Good. 1280 1024, fine. Native 1024 would be nice to get PAL, Scart, Amiga signal out over scanner borders. I'll do the video, right? I'll do the video to explain it. I haven't got time to go through it now. Mine's one. The only thing with mine is I run mine full over. Oh, God's sake, go away. I run mine full overscan, and the only thing is, since this latest revision, because originally if you didn't have overscan, they were pinging it to the top left, and it was stupid, so I told him to center it. But when he centered it, he put a black border around, which was annoying. But I haven't had time to go back out there, and I don't want them to mess around with it and break it. So, and it's an upgrade. We can just do an update later. All you need to know, I'm excited for the terminal cards. So am I. I'm going to go and pick mine up soon. Anyone hooking up a C64? I'm using composite and it's a bit grainy. Is there a better way to grainy? Mine looks pretty. I know it has this old. I didn't know what they were, but Happy was telling me about the jail bars. That's a bit naff, but I wouldn't say it was grainy. Check your cable. I assume composite. Anyway, I loosened my screws completely. Still bleed top right. Would take in the full frame of worth. Okay. I loosened my screws completely. Still bleeds top right. Okay, this is aimed at Alan with your panel. The only thing I can think of is it really shouldn't be, but are you? It might be worth talking offline about this because it is going to be the bezel pushing on it that's causing it. If you take the bezel right off, I assume it goes away, right? So when you put it back on and then just gently, I would be careful because there's an extra screw in here, okay, inside that you have to disconnect. Otherwise, it ain't going to come off. And that one's tricky to get to because you've got to pull the boards out. And be careful with the. We'll have to talk offline about that because most people have said if by just backing off a bit, it's cured it. But it might be that you've got a bit of a bend on the metal. The metal chassis may be a bit bent, and that's pushing it a bit forward. How many people haven't paid yet? About 200. I use an AV breakout adapter apparently there now or soon. Also will be an internal. Look, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Appy's the one to talk to about C64. Mine didn't look too bad, composite. And the speakers just, yep. Additional, not very, no. Oh, okay. I thought it said not. Additional note. Very impressed with screen in the light when bleed. Not notes. Black, really great. Maybe an IPS thing. Yeah, I'd have to see it. Oh, God. This thing jumps. It's really annoying. Are you satisfied? Not sure this has been answered already, but can we purchase the S video? Yes. If you want to buy it, if you didn't get the S video with the RF, you can order it. You just got to pay shipping. I've not done much of this yet as I'm sick. However, it's really nice. If Steve makes anything new, I'll be interested. His stuff's excellent. Oh, okay, thank you. On the back plane, there is a header with shorting tab. It is labeled BPHP, just on the slide. Oh, yeah, that's true. Maybe. I wonder if one can connect a monitor with the terminal card to a mainframe. Well, it's a serial. So if you've got a serial input, then I mean, these are things that we just play, have a go later. Jailbar 64 normal, though there are hardware fixes for that as well. Who even has the 60s mainframe? I will look at creating a CPLD to do this if Steve is happy for me to look into it. Yes. I'm not sure what you mean, but you can always look into it, mate. Are 17-inch black monitors still available? Yes. There's not that many, to be fair, because I only made 250 bezels and split 60-30 or 70-30 black to white to black. But there's plenty if you want. Once I've shipped them, if you do want one, then I think we were. I'm sure we're okay. Only thing I have to compare is 1702, which is clean and using chrome aluminum cables. Okay, Jeff. I mean, I'd speak to Appy about that. Oh, for God's sake! How long have I been in there? Speak to Appy about that because it's hard for me to judge a C64. I wasn't particularly impressed with the output anyway. I was like, what's some lines? No, jail bars. That sucks. It's the one remaining thriller now. The how many haven't paid counter. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll try taking the frame off. Not tried that. Saw instructions in Discord. Right, Alan, if you're taking the thing off, remember there's a screw here inside. You have to take this. You have to take all the boards out to get to it. Really important. Don't try pulling it off. You'll snap it. Getting to grips and starting to love my screen. The only downside is I wish I had bought two. Can always do that. Just so I'm clear, to remove light bleed, just need to loosen screws located on the outside of the cable. Right, it's these holes, yeah, all the way around at the top. It's just them, okay. Don't touch the one inside. Don't try taking it off, right? But if you can need a really thin Phillips screwdriver or posi, about that long and skinny, goes in and then just loosen it off a touch, and just have the monitor on while you're doing it, and then you can see. There is no way to order only. Oh, okay, right. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Of course there is. Let me show you. Hang on. It doesn't make any sense, right? Just so you know. Is it on here? Okay, it's not in there. Probably. Okay, yes, I've probably deleted it, haven't I? No. Okay, yeah. Fair point. I'll do it at some point. I'll put I'll stick it up there at some point so you can order it, but let's do that later. You should have ordered it at the time. Let's do that later. Let me ship all them out of the way, get the bulk of them out of the way. Right. I think I've answered plenty of questions. Any more? When I pull the scaler pod out, how many cables are attached to the board? If you've got S-Video, this is for Joe. If you've got the S-Video board and you pull the scaler out, there's an S-Video cable. And that's it. Just one. If you haven't got the S-Video board, you pull it out. There is no cable. That's the whole point of the pod. It just slots in. I'm the guy that got accidentally sent 2 monitors. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. I've done this twice. I've got 2 people. I sent 2 monitors. I mean, you know. How many pods are planned? I don't know. There's other people wanting to make them, so I don't know. I mean, we've got the Amiga one. I'm hoping to have a Pandora one. We're going to do the terminal one with the SGI connector on it. Hopefully other people make them. Did you secure a US distributor? No, I've got someone in mind, someone who's interested, who has a retro background. But at the moment, see, I can ship them, so I ship direct. It's not cheap. Especially at the moment, it's really expensive. I've started shipping during their let's bung some extra on. God. What do you count when you go to sleep? Monitors or sheep? No. I actually listen to the UFO stories. Quite funny. I hope I get a bag once you get a US distributor. Yeah, they're bloody expensive to ship. If you order a bag, it costs you as much as the bag to ship it. It's ridiculous. Luckily, the bags are cheaper now. But yeah, so yeah, they're nice bags. Right, okay, guys, I'm gonna go because this is. I got better things to do, like go to bed. I'm knackered. Thanks for taking part. Just check my not shipped. Okay. I don't know. Hang on a second. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have a look at you. I'm going to have a look at yours because 32. Oh, is that invoice 3249? Let me have a quick look. is that? Sorry, bear with me. I'm just having a look at this for this guy's order. It was shipped on the 11th of December. Beetle 060. It was shipped in December, yours. Because I say that's a very low number. Yeah, that was shipped about 3 weeks ago. I'm not sure. Did you... hang on, let's... I'm just sorting out someone's order here now. It's delivered. You're in the Netherlands. Right. Right, this is aimed at Beetle 060. You need to get in touch with me, because if that was your invoice numbers, I've tracked you across. Assuming that was your invoice numbers, yours has been delivered about 3 weeks ago. Right, moving on. The logo's really subtle. I think I like it. It's not been out of the box long, but now I want to mainframe. Thank you for keeping up to date. You're really heavy. They are. Yeah, they're quite heavy. Is it too late for folks in the USA that haven't ordered monitors to get a pair of them? Very excited for it, but didn't get any kits. Yeah, just go on and order. It's just you're gonna be. It'll tell you you've got 3 or 4 month wait. But jump on and order one. Yeah, you can pre-order. Mine was 36 and looks like I just missed it, so I have to wait for second shipment. Beetle 060 Germany. Yeah, you're gonna have to email me, because that number you gave me has been shipped to the Netherlands, so it must be a different one. I gotta go. Right. Okay. Thanks so much, everyone. Hopefully this has been helpful. I might put some notes up for people who can't be bothered to watch these, which I understand. You'll sit here looking at me. But I've got to go now, so thanks so much. I'll do another one of these in a couple of weeks, and I'll probably be a bit freer by then, and I will sort out video and a bit more details about the RF, because it was added very late in the day, but I just thought it was awesome because you can get RF on the S-Video board for no extra, and I thought it was brilliant. But it might be a little bit. It's like the old. You got to figure out to tune it in. It's just an old. It's just one of these, you know. Anyway, speak to you soon. I'm going to end the stream in 5, 4, 3, 2.